For years, Mara had been the sort of person who believed that effort was the currency of life. She treated every promise like a contract, every friendship like an investment, every job as a thread in the sweater she was knitting for a future she could barely imagine. She was 27 when she learned that the world does not always repay in proportion to the work you pour into it. She was 34 when she decided that, finally, she was good. Her life had been stitched together from other people's needs. In college, she tutored classmates who never once invited her to their celebrations. Early in her career, she stayed late so that projects would have the polish others prized. Yet those who took home the credit were rarely the ones who had stayed behind the screens. In love, she gave until the edges of herself were worn thin, smoothing out dents she hoped would become doors. Each time she extended herself, she believed the universe would eventually return the favor. It rarely did. The turning point came in small, accumulative betrayals rather than a single, shattering event. There was no dramatic scene, no raised voices, no revelations, only a steady drip of disappointments. A friend forgot to be present when Mara needed to speak. A manager rewrote her contribution into someone else's resume. A lover left a note on the kitchen counter and took half the plants. Each sting was a lesson in the same language. Consistency matters more than promises, and self-preservation sometimes requires shirking the patterns that no longer serve. At first, Mara tried to fix things. She checked her tone, refined her timing, smoothed out the edges of things she thought were rude to confront. She thought she could reconcile the mismatch between how much she gave and how little she received by becoming kinder, sharper, better. But kindness without reciprocity is a leaky bucket. Her effort kept spilling out, with no reservoir of respect refilling it. The harder she tried, the emptier she felt. One rainy Tuesday, she watched her reflection in the window as the city blurred into watercolor. The office lights behind her hummed. People rushed home, umbrellas like migrant flowers bobbing in the wind. She thought about all the nights she had burned her own candle for others, and the way, sometimes, those others had turned away from the glow. It occurred to her, with a clarity that was almost shocking, that there were only two people in the room with her decisions: herself and the future version of herself. The opinions of everyone else were optional. "I'm done," she said into her mug as if she could teach the ceramic to be witness. The phrase was small and ordinary, but it was the beginning of a different grammar for living. It didn't mean she stopped being compassionate, or that she quit trying. It meant she would no longer invest effort